Now we want to get pulling related content. And I'm pretty sure that last time we already did a little bit of related content, and we related some movie cast to our movies. And if you remember, that relationship is managed with the content type manager here. And if we look at our movie content type and we click on it, we can see the relationship field right here. Then we can see that it's related to movies is related to the cast content type, right? We could add more relationships and relate movies to more things if we wish to. And if we look at the content type cast, we can see once again that there's the same relationship there, movies to cast. And we've got a first name, last name, and then a related content field, so that while you're actually iterating over that content, you come over here to cast and then take a look. So you're iterating over the content, you can actually relate that, to an existing movie. And if we're actually on our movies, we can not only relate new existing children. Now, we didn't put a relationship field on movies, so then if we click on relationships here, it's going to be an abstracted tab, and then we can add one or more. And not only from the parent, we can relate existing movies, or we can actually relate a brand new movie and create new movie content, which will automatically be related here right after we click save. Right? So, but we've already created that relationship. Whenever you're looking at your content type, well, I don't want promotion. And you look at that relationship, you can simply copy that relationship name that has the marriage between the two. It's kind of like a little marriage certificate between the two content types. You can use that in your .content.pull, which if we go to our documentation, and you could just type, pull related content. And there it is, on your first hit, right? How do I pull related content? And here, if we go down to the for each loop, there is our example, right? So underneath each movie, we want to actually pull the relationship. So I'm going to paste my relationship name here down below, and then I'm going to get another for each loop, right? And this will be the pull related. And I'll paste that. We'll do it right underneath our release date. Or maybe this would be better to be done on our detail page, right? So we will have to do a little bit of finagling of our current detail page, which, if I'm not mistaken, we already put, just to prove our URL mapping was working, we already put it right here on a movie detail page last time. And we have our detail over here. And if we look in edit mode at this little movie detail VTL, it's saying if URL map content, then go ahead and get the URL map content and assign it to movie. Else, go ahead and just do a movie listing, right? And this is the pattern we want. As a matter of fact, we can copy that little H2 right there. And that will lead us over to this page, because if you remember our URL mapping, we have /movie /movie.url title. If we come here to types and tags, we have on our movie content type, we have this. If we edit him, we have our, I defined it before as a training movie detail, but I moved him. So if I put training, here. Okay, he's now still the same. And then I've got movie.url title. This is where I'm defining that URL map pattern, which is listening, right? So we can now go to our listing. We want to make sure we go to that detail first. So before we do our pull related, we'll do that on our movie detail widget, and we'll also pull that up here in Text Wrangler. All I want to do is take my title and be able to click and go to that URL mapped page. So I'll put my URL map right here. And we don't need to modify a thing. That's just fine. So we will just replace this guy, except we're going to put the velocity count in there. That's it. I'll just retype it. And we'll do velocity count. Right. And so whenever somebody clicks on a title, it'll go to our movie.url title. It's a fake path, but because of the way we've mapped it on our content type, it will deliver us to that movie detail page for all of the movies that we click on. Now I'll get that relationship. We'll put that on our movie detail code. We'll file and save our listing. And now if we go back to our listing, we should now be mapping to our movie detail page. So if we did that movie detail page right, we now click on any one of our movies and it automatically resolves. Oops, wanted to go back in the browser. Let me click on The Incredibles, and there it is. And this is where we're going to pull our cast on our movie detail page. And once again, just as a refresher, how does that URL mapping actually work? Get an incognito window, and I'm going to copy this page that I'm currently on, paste that into my incognito, and get my domain name. Okay. Okay, so if I come here to the front end and I click on any one of these, now we'll be able to see the URL pattern nice and clean. So I click on it, and what it's doing is this URL doesn't actually exist at all. It's fake. It's a vanity URL basically. And what the system does is whenever we map it on the content type and we say /movie/ and then our URL title, which is that secondary field, which will take any title of any of the movies that we create, and it has some JavaScript in it from last time that we go ahead and we clean out the spaces, any special characters, and we store that in the URL title. Well, we already have it mapped on the content type that anytime there's a request after our domain that it starts with /movie/ then the system says, okay, whatever comes next, I've got to go to the movie content type. I've got to search for whatever comes next, see if there's a matching piece of content, then go to the detail page, which is mapped, doesn't match this URL request at all, doesn't matter. Go to the detail page, supply it with the URL map content system variable fully loaded with the map of the content that I found, and then from there on, the webmaster and the page code are responsible for resolving it nicely. And then if you add 1 million movies, you import 1 million movies right now, then it just works. And you have an SEO optimized URL every time for your content, right? So very, very slick, very, very easy to implement. Now we're going to add that related, not to our listing, but to our detail. So I'm going to open up that BTL file that was uploaded right here last time. But I'm going to upload it, I'm going to edit it through WebDAV. So here, I'm just going to file open. And go right to, not my desktop, but my local host in English, demo.dotCMS.com, training, BTL, and my movie detail this time, right? Okay, so this is my movie detail. This is my movie listing. This is my movie detail. I'll increase the font on this one as well to 24 to help us get a better view here. Okay, so here I'm not worried about the else. I'm only worried about, yes, if my URL map content is set, then I set whatever URL mapped content object to movie, and then I started iterating over it, right? So we've got a release date. We could actually copy our categories. We want to do that as well. And then underneath here, we're going to put, oh, well, I had copied that. Our movies relationship and our movies to cast relationship. Put that here because we're going to pull related, right? We can copy from our movie listing that same exact for each loop here. That we put on our movie listing. We want to do it maybe right after the movie title. It should work just fine because once again, it's the same variable name. Well, yeah, same variable name. So that'll be just fine. And then we're going to put down here the cast. So I guess I'll put H3. Cast. And then here I'm going to put my for each loop for my related content, which I can copy right out of our documentation, right? So just copy that, put it right here, and then start manipulating this. So I can put for each cast member in .content.pull related. And we want that relationship name, which is right now we've already copied. Right, movie cast. Then we need an identifier, and this pull related method is smart enough to know if you pass a child related content, you can get the parent. If you pass a parent, you can get the child. Now the movie comes first, so the movie's created and then the cast is a child. So if we're passing the movie is the parent. So then we're going to pass, instead of movie.description, we're going to pass movie.identifier. So I'm just actually going to paste that there. That here, take out description. And now if you read the documentation, false means pull downward. I wish it was just up or down or something like that. But false means get. I'm passing the parent, get the children, right? So if we said true, then that would mean we're passing the cast.identifier. So look upwards and get the movie, right? Because the movie is the parent, right? But we are pulling the children. So we want to look downward from the parent identifier and find the children of that parent that correspond to this relationship, which is, of course, the cast members. We could put 0, and we'll just leave that as 10, and you can put other parameters here as well. You can supply some other fields in our documentation. You can see that you can put the relationship name, the identifier. You can actually query and say, well, the cast members have to be actors, or the cast members have to be, you could put more taxonomies. I want to get the directors first. You could have a couple of pull relateds there and have something marking them as actors or actresses. And you can also put a sort by. Right, so let's go ahead and do that. We'll do the sort by. You can put as many as you wish. I am not going to filter by anything else, but I want cast to be sorted by last name. So if I once again click on last name here and make sure that everything is pulling alphabetically, then I can click this little show query, and then I see exactly how to do my sort. Cast.lastname, right? The name of the content type plus the field that I want to sort by. And I can put that right into my last parameter. I just add an extra parameter at the end. It is text, so, and I put that little sort there, right? Okay, so for each cast member, then I want to get cast member dot first name, and then I want to do that just a space, get their last name. Then I want to do that if for each loop has next. All I have to do is copy and paste it, right? And I'd want to do my velocity variable best practices as well, right? Just in case I was a bad webmaster and I allowed them to leave those blank. And that also separates my variable from my little hash there. All right, I've got my brackets, just double checking my code here real quick. Okay. Looks good. All right, so I can file and save. And now if I just go to my front end, I should be able to just actually just update Ratatouille, and I've got cast here. Now I'm not pulling any of my cast, so we'll take a look. I'm not sure if Ratatouille does have cast on the back end, but we can diagnose. And pretty sure I related everybody. Maybe not. No, he doesn't have any, that's why. So I'll have to click on Incredibles maybe. So let me go back. Incredibles, and there we go. Okay. Mystery solved. Now what I would want to do is I would want to add an href here and do the reverse. I would pass the cast identifier, set that little parameter false to true, and I would be able to, pull my related movies. If I went to her, Holly Hunter's detail page or Samuel Jackson's detail page, then I would pull related and pull all the movie lists for them, that they've ever done. All right, and then right after my last actor, I don't get those commas anymore, and we are pulling our categories over here. And then we would also go ahead and click on comedy or action or adventure and then sort our movie list as well. So we're going to do those things. We're just not there quite yet. Okay.